Kannapolis City Schools have worked hard to align the science curriculum vertically and horizontally to address our unique needs. 72% of our students are eligible for free and reduced price lunches. And with the current economic crisis impacting our community, our students don't have the opportunity for many enriching experiences outside of the school environment. The opening of the STEM Academy at A.L. Brown allowed us to add more opportunities for students to participate in project-based science and engineering courses that were designed to teach them to problem solve and prepare them for a future as a scientist or engineer. These courses allowed students to become engaged with technology and take a very active role in their learning. Scientific labs became inquiry-based, and they were not cookbook recipes that always ended with the same results. Students were challenged to think and draw their own conclusions. Many of our students from these classes actively participated in statewide competitions for robotics, building bridges, and designing roller coasters. However, there wasn't an opportunity to actually design and manufacture a product for a client. That was until Jordan Baker's engineering class in the STEM Academy had an opportunity to break out of the standard curriculum with a real-world collaborative project between his students and one of the North Carolina Research Campus scientists, Dr. Carol Cheatham. Dr. Cheatham's daughter attended A.L. Brown and was enrolled in an engineering class. When Dr. Cheatham visited during open house, she found out that the engineering department had recently acquired a 3D printer. Dr. Cheatham and Mr. Baker discussed working together to create toys that she could use in her research with toddlers. The toys had to have 3 steps. The researcher would show the toddler how to complete the 3 steps. Then she would give the toy to the toddler and observe the toddler's behavior. Hopefully, the toddler would successfully imitate Dr. Cheatham's demonstration. Dr. Cheatham liked the idea of having her imitation event toys built for a reasonable cost, and Mr. Baker liked the idea of using his 3D printer and having supplies provided by a real-world client. A.L. Brown students could have an opportunity to apply the skills they were learning in the classroom, to respond and revise projects created with Autodesk Inventor 3D modeling software to fit the needs of Dr. Cheatham. As they would in a real research and development environment, the students had to work together with their peers to fulfill the client's requirements and successfully create a working solution. Dr. Cheatham had to work hard to fit the STEM Academy visits into her busy schedule. She needed to give the students direction and constructive criticism before they could begin the production of their toys. Sometime during the semester, everyone realized that this project was challenging the students above their ability levels, and they met or exceeded Dr. Cheatham's expectations. Eventually, they replaced the professional toy designer when they created better solutions and more meaningful toys that were based on Dr. Cheatham's specific needs. They also offered to fix flawed or broken toys and even redesign those toys based upon the data gathered from Dr. Cheatham's research.
So the new project, the meeting yesterday discussed Dr. Cheatham going to the Gambia and doing research to determine if the activity that children get during their younger years affects their actual brain development, actual cell development in the brain. And so they would need to develop a certain number of toys that the children of Gambia could interact with, and that stimulation they would be able to measure with other equipment they have of whether that stimulation has affected brain development. And one of the most interesting parts of that project is that the Gambia being a totally different culture from the U.S., and most of our students not having a good concept of what other cultures are like, especially countries such as the Gambia, we were discussing possible Skypes between personnel in Gambia and my classroom directly, and of course with Dr. Cheatham, and being able to interact in that manner. And they even brought up the concept that if we were developing these toys, and they did continue to work out, that we would have contests yearly to see which toy turned out the best, and they even played around with the idea of sending a student to the Gambia